Come on, please. Yes! 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 Yes!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 9 of the 9 Dart Podcast, your one-stop shop for talking tungsten. Lorenzo and Josh here with a massive show after a massive weekend in PDC Darts. Hello, Josh. How are we?
Good afternoon.
On this Wednesday.
Lorenzo, I'm very well, thank you. A massive show to unpack. So much going on and unbelievable.
So this might, for people who maybe might not be watching this on the exact day it's recorded, this is the second of 3 podcasts I'm doing today. I've done others around the grounds. I will do footy later, but I'm focused on darts at the moment after an absolutely bonkers weekend. We've had Premier League, we'll talk about that. The Super Series was great, and of course the Ladbrokes UK Open. How did we see it all, Josh? Just sort of overall, I thought it was a fantastic weekend. The storylines were great. There were some big upsets, crazy moments, some regular people doing things we expect them to do now at this particular point, based on all recent form. I thought it was a great week.
Yeah, great tournament overall. Absolutely, you're spot on. There was some really good matches. There was some good to see other guys on the lower end of the tour cards also do well, matching up against the higher ones.
Yes.
That was really good to see. But overall, very good tournament. I give it like an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, 8.5.
That's a 8.5. I reckon that's sort of where it's at.
Yeah, that's our first thoughts. Very positive thoughts for this weekend. So UK Open is, I think, I want to talk a lot about the UK Open because there's just so much to go through when you have a tournament of 158 players, so 2 didn't make it to Minehead. And we start with the crazy moments, and there were quite a few here. There was some Minehead magic. Nico Springer averaged 115 to beat Core Decker in I think it was pretty much the first match of the tournament. Core Decker unfortunately didn't get a look in. And Robert Owen was a big name that stood out in terms of someone who isn't the biggest name, making a deep run at this tournament, beating Michael Van Goen, who was struggled on his doubles.
Yes, he did.
He probably had darts to win just about every leg in that particular match that he lost to a Robert Owen, the Welshman, 10-8, who has had quite a few decent runs on the TV lately. Was good at the World Championship, saved his card, and now has got all the way to the 6th round. He lost 10-8, so was competitive against James Wade. Michael Van Goen still had a 95 average, so in that particular match. But just right from the start, I thought, oh, wow, Michael he's in all sorts here. We know he's had a little bit of changing of things. He doesn't quite grip the dart in the same way he used to. And he was scoring well. It was just finishing again that let him down in that particular match.
Absolutely. No, well, we talk about it all the time. You can average as high as you want, but if you can't hit the outer ring, then it's not going to help you, is it? Exactly. Well, we saw some fantastic finishing from other players, which we'll get to in a moment. But no, if you can't finish on the outer ring, then can't expect to win, can you?
No, and Nico Springer, that was probably the best individual match of the tournament, 115. That was on the first day in a 6-2 win in the first round against the new 2-card holder, Core Decker. But the big story really out of the first day was a person who we've talked about millions of times on this podcast and will continue to do so. The best story is not the winner of the tournament. It is Beau Graves, the women's number 1, qualified through the development tour, played on the main stage in the first round and got a win. Then was off, I think, on stage 2 in the second round, and actually wasn't supposed to be on the main stage for the third round against Mickey Mansell. The games finished quickly, so they put her on. And then poor Alan Warren a little drew number 63 Beau Graves and number 1 Luke Humphries together. And I tell you what, for the majority of this match, Beau Graves was odds on to win. She had the throw. She won the first couple of legs, and it wasn't until, and she was 7-5 up. It wasn't until 8-7 when Humphries first took the lead. It was a very enjoyable match, 102 to 92 average. She just didn't quite find the trebles on the regular. Right at the end of that match, they could have helped her. Beau and Humphries kicked into the gears we know we have, but she just had the most amazing day, and she's proved herself against the top quality once again. And she's a top 64 player in the world.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, to pinch 7 legs off the world number 1 is just absolutely incredible. Now, we talked about her at length, and once again, she proves herself. Well, that's literally the title. Proves herself against the best, and he is the best.
He is the absolute best
effort
of the last 2 years. Most money on that order of merit, of course. He's just below £2 million at the moment. He's got to defend some Eurotour money in the first little bit, so we'll keep an eye on whether or not he's able to break $2 million at any point. He'll probably get to a second round of a Players Championship, then break it, and then go back down again. It'll probably be very fleeting if he does get to $2 million, Luke Humphries. But it was a great day, and had she drawn almost anybody else but for the Lukes, she probably would have made a second day at the UK Open. Now, choices will continue to have to be made. Last year, when we got to the Women's World Match Play, she confirmed right away, no, I'm going to Lakes, I'm not going to Ali Pali.
Yep.
She's almost a certainty to qualify. We know there's more spots going to be open because 128 as opposed to 96. She's qualified the last few years, chosen to play at the WDF event, as the PC don't allow you to play in both World Championships.
Play one another.
She would love to play at both, I'm sure. She's won that event at Lakeside already 3 times, and so she's proven herself in that particular arena. And hopefully this weekend, there's Women's Series coming back this weekend as well, so just more opportunities for her to play top quality darts and just get a little bit more confidence. And now, I would absolutely love to see her at Ali Pali. Not sure if she will 100% do it, but I think the more she has these sort of weekends, the more confidence she can only have.
Absolutely. Well, again, she's competing against the best, and to see her at Ali Pali in front of a massive crowd come Christmas would be fantastic because, you know, she brings the crowd in.
Yeah.
She undoubtedly brings the crowd in just based on her performances. So, you know, if we can see her at Ali Pali at the end of this year, that'd be fantastic, and into early next year. It
was a brilliant story. And Luke Humphries as well, we can't mention the absolute class of Humphries, one of the nicest guys in the sport, bringing her back.
I love that.
Yeah.
I was going to mention that at one point. Sorry, go ahead.
No. So the match finished. They did the handshake, and she was walking off the stage for the last time, and Humphries called out her to come back so the crowd could give her one last round of applause.
Yeah. Oh, that is just so classy. Like, again, those are the things that we love to see in darts, and it was amazing. It really was. So, you know, she's walking off the stage and he goes, no, you know what? You took 7 legs off me.
And you've won 3 matches earlier today.
Correct.
On this stage.
You deserve a round of applause after that because that was fantastic and absolutely well-deserved. And well done to Humphries.
They did a joint sort of interview after and Luke just was full of praise, which shows you not only how good she is, but also how good Humphries is just as a person and how sort of well-connected a lot of these darts players are and how friendly they are away from the hockey. Luke Humphries, has a friendly rivalry with Luke Littler, who went on by the Sunday to pick up yet another shiny thing. He wins the UK Open for the first time. This is a tournament he really wanted to win. It was the first PDC tournament that he competed in when he was 16. In 2020, that would have been 3. For anyone knew where he was, it took till 23-24 World Championships where we learned who he was. Got to a quarterfinal last year, lost to Damon Heta, we know that. And then this year, came through his field to pick up the title and played what I thought was the best match of the tournament against Peter Wright, who looked better than Luke Littler at points.
Very good.
He looked very good. It looked like the Peter Wright of old. I'm not sure what darts he was using, but whatever it was.
Not unlike last year in the Premier League.
Yeah, exactly.
Very different.
101 average would have beaten, again, pretty much anyone else, but when you're running into the 2 licks, you got to step it up to another level
Get those for the whole game.
or hope they just don't show up.
Yeah.
But after that sort of test, he was pretty comfortable in most of the matches. Jermaine Watermaina in the 5th round. Then he played Christopher Tysky, who actually was competitive there. And Littler wasn't. They're basically the same high 97 average, so he wasn't quite at his best there, but Christoph stayed with him. Jan van Veen didn't quite do so. 107 average, followed by 106, which is a hard thing to do, particularly off the back of a long tournament. We're playing a lot of matches, so beating Van Veen, Clayton, and we'll get to his fellow finalists in a moment. But solid weekend for Littler. Got to a final of the Premier League as well, so all good for him.
No, he's just all guns blazing. It keeps going for him, doesn't it? Nah, fantastic tournament. Again, well-deserved. Played some very good darts over the course of the weekend. Yes,
and he's played good darts since the World Championship, but hasn't picked up a title. Ran into some really good performances we mentioned a few episodes ago against Price in Bahrain, against Bunting in Den Bosch, against Clayton at the World Masters, and MVG in that first Premier League contest in Belfast.
Yes.
So he did deserve to pick up his first title since becoming world champ, and he's made it a major one. And that's why it's a bit of a positive surprise, because this is the tournament that usually brings up a few different weird winners.
It does.
And had his opponent in the final one, it would have very much been along those sort of lines. But he plows his way through the field, and he did say, I did want to bring this up as potentially I might bring it up in the great debate. I was going to play a clip. He said, after he... I'm not going to bother. I'll just say it now. I'm going to try to set up social media for later. But he said after that final that he had the sense that people don't want to play him. And he's had that basically since he was 12. The difference is he was in the JDC then he was in the WDF, then he was sort of the PDC, but the bottom half of the field. And now literally every single darts player in the world, when they're watching the draw for whatever tournament, especially the UK Open, where it's a random draw after every round, they're going, just not Littler. Just not Littler. Just not Littler. Ah, come on. It must be a pretty good feeling to have when you know you've got that much of a hold on the entire tour, on your entire opposition.
Exactly. Well, knowing that you're the best, and you know, when people fear you, it's like, well, I'm definitely up and about now. I've definitely shown my caliber, my class, and again, what a result for him. He's achieved a great feat, and he's wanted this for a long time, and he finally got it.
Yep, so UK Open thoroughly deserved for Littler. Another positive surprise, so sort of honourable mention to his finalist, James Wade, and this was the most James Wade weekend you'll ever see. He beat Luke Humphries in the quarterfinal. This is an ITV Butlins Minehead event, so of course James Wade was going to play well, and that's what makes him a little bit frustrating, because he is one of the greatest darts players we've ever seen.
Yep.
He hasn't won a world championship. He's almost the best person to never win a world title. And he's been there for so long. I think he's only in his early 40s, which is, he felt like he's been a bit of a stalwart of the game. I'm actually going to fact check that now. I'm pretty sure I saw because James Wade was pretty young when he first on the scene. 1983, yeah, so he's 42 in April.
Okay.
So in darts terms, he's probably still got another decade to find that world title. But he was another one who burst on the scene at a youngish age, sort of 2006, 7, 8. And in a lot of these finals, much like this one, he's been good, but he hasn't been as good as the person he's been playing against. So that was definitely the case. And after, I think, wins a 99 average, 11-2 win over Josh Rock, 99, nearly 100 average, 10-9 win over Luke Humphries, he just didn't have anything. He just, that one was a good one.
That was sensational.
He just didn't have anything else in the locker when he got to the final. But I think James Wade could be very happy with his weekend.
Absolutely. Well, he said it was a very James Wade thing to do. But you know what would have topped it off? If he hit a 9 darter against him. That would have topped it off. Because we know that historically he has...
He's been a magnet for 9 dart against him.
On those 9 dart compilations, he seems to be in every second one, doesn't he?
Yes.
You know, lots of them.
In the background, to the back of the Oki.
Yes, going. Oh, here we go again. Here we go again. Exactly. Yes, he has had a few himself, of course. But no, good effort. Good to see him.
Up a couple of places in the order of merit, up to world number 12 now, James Wade. He did say he's looking at that Premier League as something he wants to get back into.
Yep.
Obviously, this alone doesn't change anything, but the higher he gets to that top 4, the more he's performing in actual Sky events, James, even though, to be fair, he got to a semi-final of a match play last year. We a little bit more regular, James, just so we can be a bit more confident in you, because we know you've got the game absolutely. He's been one of the most consistently good players for the last 15 years. It's just been on ITV. It's been a bit a bit hit and miss at times, but he had a very good weekend, and he was definitely a positive surprise to see him get all the way to the final.
I was going to say, just talking about order of merit.
Yeah, we're going to talk about
this. We've identified. Header's gone up 3 places.
Header, it was another big surprise. So he did not get on the telly all week because he was on the outer boards.
Come on now, what the hell, man?
But he had a very good weekend. Got to the last 16 of the UK Open. So once again, it's a very Damon Header awesome performance. Deep into a major tournament without really being at the business end.
Yep.
But he went down to Van Veen, which is always a difficult match.
They did not miss doubles at all.
Yeah, I wish when I saw the draw was going to be Head to Van Veen, I knew that was going to be stage 2. Yep. But I so wanted, if I was there at Minehead and fair dinkum, I'm going to get there at some point. At some point, we will be at Minehead. The problem is, it's the same crowd every year, and they just buy their tickets for next year's UK Open at the front desk of this year's event. So it's usually sold out mostly 12 months in advance.
We'll find a way.
But I want to get to Minehead. Mind you, the weather was a bit better in that part of England than it usually is. Usually it's freezing and it's raining outside the venue.
Minus 3 degrees.
Yeah, exactly. I think in November it's worse, but even in March it's not the greatest weather. But it was a bit warmer this week.
I'm pretty
less
sure
rain.
Luke was saying last year, he was complaining that the weather's been so
cold.
It's like, I'm freezing, I'm going to play as well. But you know,
but the moment I saw Heta Van Veen, I know they're not going to put this on because they've got the Lokes and they've got MVG at this point was knocked out,
Wade
and they've
well.
got Dimmy, but
Aspinall,
the moment I saw, I really want to watch that match, and it was a beauty.
Absolutely. Well, I think I saw a stat. Damon missed 1 dart at a double. I think it was 9 from 10, and then Van Veen was very, very similar. I think
it was ridiculous on the outer ring.
Just ridiculous.
So 109 average for Van Veen. Heta again, That's the beauty of the UK Open. You can play anybody, so someone can squeeze through without playing amazing, and someone could just keep running into big names, which is what we love to see.
It is. That's
what makes this
beauty of
tournament
the
so good.
Absolutely.
So he's up to the world number 7 spot now, Damon Hedder. It's amazing how he can just being so consistent at the moment. By the way, Daily Fix of Dame on Instagram is one of the best pieces of content you will ever see.
I see it all the time, but I haven't actually really watched it that much.
Yeah.
Anything?
I've been watching it much more on the regular. He is very good.
Anything else to know? Dimitri van den Berg's gone down 4 places, number 20.
Off the back of it, a little bit disappointing.
Gilding's dropped significantly down to 27.
So he was defending tournament money from 2 years ago, so he's now fallen down. Weirdly, Mike De Decker went up 3 places. I'm not sure why, considering he lost in the first round. It was his first tournament with Mission Darts, so he's moved over to them.
Yes, he has.
So I was going to bring that up last week, but forgot. So
Michael Smith went up 2 to 17.
Yes, he had a very good weekend as well, Michael Smith. So he's gone up a couple of places. So as always, this is a tournament where a few guys can move their way up.
Yep.
I think Beau Graves went up 17 places so she's down 109, but it was up a full 17.
Yes, plus 17.
Andrew Gilding was a big faller. There were other couple, that sort of swapped
Adam Lipscomb up 18.
Yeah. Stephen Burton also wasn't too bad. He went up 3 places to number 60. Robert Owen went up to
Thomas
number
Lovely
57.
plus 7 to 100.
Yep, so Van Bain up 2 to 25. Yep, so quite a bit of movement, and now you feel with Humphries defending so much tournament money at the back end of this year because he won everything, which started this great run of him becoming the world number 1, winning the Grand Prix, winning the Slam, winning the Players, and winning the Worlds.
Correct.
It feels like only a matter of time that Luke Littler still getting all these tournaments are a free hit, that he will ascend to the world number 1. The question is,
when?
Humphries on £1,895,000, can he grab 2 million before he has to keep defending all this money?
We'll find out.
We
won't
will see. There were some disappointments.
There was.
Stephen Bunting just keeps running into good plays. Lost to Chris Dobie, but did play quite well. Gary Anderson not as well. We say by his standards. Actually, statistically, it wasn't too bad. I don't think. If I can find his results in front of me, I'm looking for a Scottish flag in here, and I'm seeing every other Scottish. Here we are. He averaged a ton. He averaged a ton, but lost 10-3 to Johnny Clayton, who also is proving himself on the telly at the moment. Had a good week. Got to a semi-final. As you can see, so many stories out of the UK Open. I hope you're catching on to that. So Gary, look, there's been a lot of stuff going on. We're trying to improve little things. Been great on the floor, less good on television. He will be at the European Tour event, we presume, this coming weekend. So more opportunities for Gary on a stage to really showcase that floor form, which has been brilliant for the last 24 months. Has been lacking a bit on television. Stephen, still pointless in the Premier League. Still hasn't quite got off the ground running, but I think things are going to turn for him in the coming weeks. Right.
Absolutely.
I've lost my rundown. Here we go. So they were the flops. Oh, yeah, we had to mention, and this was the weirdest moment of the entire weekend. So 5th round draw. So as it is always drawn up on the main stage at the conclusion of each round, FA Cup of Darts. It was going to be Alan Warren-Little and Chris Mason. Unfortunately, Mason came down with, I think, food poisoning. He was in a bad way. He got back for the final, but he was not in a good way during that weekend. So they had to get Ned Bolting, who was mainly a cycling and a brilliant cycling commentator, to do the draw. So Al Warren-Little picks up the first ball. Ryan Searle. Ned Bolting picks up his one. Luke Humphries, so that was a 5th round match. And then he put the ball back where you're supposed to, so you can see on this photo here, you've got the 2 racks, that's where they go.
That's where they go.
He put it back with the rest of the balls.
Back there.
In that container. Because I watched that live and went, did I just see what I just saw? And I was trying to look. There's 5 balls there, there's 4 balls there. I'm pretty sure there. And by there are ridiculous odds for this. I'm still not sure if anyone knows what the exact percentage is. They didn't draw that ball again. So at the end of the 5th round, people kept noticing there was one ball still left in there. That's the one Ned Bolting put back in. So the odds of that, because it's like 1 to 30, then 1 in 29, then 1 in 28, 1 in 27. So the odds are astronomical, but they did not pick out the ball he put back in.
Must have just put it down at the very bottom.
He shoved it back in there, and they did not pick it out again.
That's incredible. I did not know that.
Yep. So that was a weird moment in the 5th round. A lot of people were like, "Oh, it's rigged." No, it wasn't. It was just a bit of a brain fade from one person and sheer luck on the other end. So that was a little bit disappointing. that was really the only thing that soured the whole thing. The draw was fine. I don't think if they did pick out that Humphries ball, they would have put it down and grabbed another one.
Yep,
which
exactly.
is the only thing you can do. Because it's not like you can go. Once he put that ball back in, I think he went and tried looking for it again. There's 30 balls in there, man.
Sorry.
Unless you can, you can't. You've lost it. So yeah. So Alan Wallace did a good job with his reaction when he drew Greaves and Humphries together was hilarious. But other than that, tournament ran very smoothly.
Yep.
So many big talking points. I'll get to one last one I want to talk about with the future star. But overall, I enjoyed the tournament. It is just about my personal favourite.
Absolutely.
And the random draws are a big part of that.
It's definitely up there for me. As
We're
you said
going
earlier.
to debate where things stand in the Premier League. We usually mention this at the top of every show, but we've been talking this for about half an hour now. We haven't even got to the Premier League darts in Exeter in that weird.
Yes.
It's I think it's literally a cowshed or wherever they play. I think there's literally beef walking around that venue. And then they just turn it into a dance venue.
Only in darts, right?
So we have the cow paddock at Julia's home ground. We have the cow shed in Exeter for Premier League darts night. Luke Humphries, the winner, 6-4 against Price, 6-5 against Cross, and then 6-4 against Littler. First time Cool Hand beat the Nuke in the Premier League. Good night overall.
Yep.
Littler was very good in quite a number of his matches, particularly against my man Stephen Bunting, who can't catch a cold at the moment. He averaged 104, threatened a 9 data at one point, and then 109 average against Nathan Aspinall. Couldn't quite follow up in the final. Humphries very consistent, 97, 100, 101 average through the night. And he's on a man with 15 points, and that's a lot of points to already get. You basically need something in the low 20s to get to finals night, and he's most of the way there at the moment.
He's excelled already. Yep, exactly. No, he's done very well. I'm sure he's going to keep winning. So, just... Let's have a good photo. He just got, 2, thanks.
Yeah, that's 2 for me. And there will be more. No one's ever, I think 3 or 4 is the maximum.
What's the highest?
It's Littler, Humphries, and Van Gogh all had, I think, was it 4 last year? I'm going to find out. No one's got more than 4, I think. I want to say 3 or 4.
4 out
I'm
of
pretty
17.
sure it's 4. 4 nightly wins, yep.
Yeah,
so
okay.
Humphries, Littler, Van Gogh all last year had
16.
4 nightly wins. Smith and Aspinall had the other 2.
Okay.
So he's already, we're halfway through. So, I mean, based on this trajectory, he's going to win like 8, but that's not going to happen. So 5 could very well be in shouting distance for Humphries and even Littler. We will see what happens there. But 2 nightly wins, a runner-up in a semi-final for Humphries. He's won on every night, hasn't been eliminated in the quarterfinals as of yet. Now is the next slide. Here we go. This is what I've been promising for a while. This is my weird spreadsheet thing I put together.
Please explain, yes.
So here's what we've got. Players on all of the rows in alphabetical order. I've counted Van Gogh as having a G, so that's why I put him there.
Yep.
The players, I like to read it. I mean, you can do it anyway, but I read it sort of left to right. So Aspinall at the top, 1 match against Cross, 1 match against Dobie, 1 against Van Gogh, and 1 against Littler and Humphries, and 2 against Price. So that's 7 matches overall. I've checked it. This is it. This is definitely right. And this one's a bit interesting. You can see, despite playing 7 matches, Price has mostly played against the same guys. He's played Humphries already thrice in this tournament, in this Premier League so far, and Aspinall twice. Still hasn't played Bunting, Cross, or MVG.
Yeah.
Pretty much everyone else who's played, obviously we know Bunting has been only played the 4 matches. Yeah. So it's really weird. It's Price and Bunting that are the empty ones, despite the fact that Price is 3rd in the table and Bunting is dead last. Even Dobie's played a few matches against other guys. So we'll be keeping an eye on what matches we're seeing a bit more often. So Humphries Price is the main one there with the 3. So you're going to see numbers there twice, obviously, for each individual player's row. So Humphries with 11 matches, nearly thrice as many of my poor man Stephen, still yet to get off the mark. So that's obviously that's the one that's standing out. There's quite a few 2s. Humphries, Littler is 1. Humphries, Littler Van Gogh is 1. Price Aspinall is 1. So we'll be keeping an eye on this thing. Obviously, everyone will have at least 2 by the time the league finishes.
That's all done. Yep.
Probably even 3. We'll be interested to see what matches we get a bit more often. Yes. So if there's the sense we're seeing these guys pretty much every other week, we'll go to the spreadsheet and see if that is correct.
Yes, and you'll update it every week, I assume.
I will, if I remember. I did want to ask. Where do we stand? What are your thoughts about the Premier League so far in terms of where people stand? And mainly, my main question is, we've seen 3 players win nights so far. How many more are we going to get?
That's true. Well, we're 4 nights in. 4 nights in already. The next one is in Brighton. Not Brighton here, Brighton in
Brighton,
in
England.
UK. Yes.
They're not coming down under. That's for sure.
Well, they've got
not yet anyway.
The one coming in.
That's a different
also.
Premier League.
Yes, it is indeed.
Who can you see, looking at the other names here, Van Gerwen, Aspinall, Cross, Dobie, Bunting, who of those can you see winning a weekly night at the moment?
I think MVG could.
Yep.
For sure. But I just think anyone on their night.
Anyone on their night,
That's the thing, because it's the best caliber players. So, has Price has won one? Yeah. I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Last week, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
No, not yet.
Well,
Cross,
he's
not
just
yet.
donuts there at the moment, Bunting, I'm afraid.
Dobie, not yet. I just think literally anyone could beat anyone on their day.
Yeah, 100%. I reckon MVG will even then. It's whether you can. Can you see? It'll be 2 or 3 more, I reckon.
Yep.
I'm concerned for both Bunting and also Dobie, to be honest. They might be colour drift soon. So MVG, Aspinall, Cross are the 3 there. MVG should win a night, but I'm getting less confident by the week.
Just looking at the actual
Cross also
total
should
matches
win the night. Yeah.
Bunting 4, Cross 6, and Dobie 6. Those are the lowest 3.
You pretty much sort this table by. It's literally the guys who've played the most matches are up higher on the ladder. I've literally just sorted it by played, and the positions stay exactly the same. I'm not sure if they're the same on leg difference, though. The leg difference might be a bit of a difference.
Oh, true. Well, you didn't take that into account just yet, at least. It might be updated more. Find out. Yeah. No, that's very interesting. I like that. Oh,
you right there, Ben? Okay. We've got Ben producing there. It is computer fell over. Yep. So there's the Excel spreadsheet. We'll keep an eye on that.
Yep.
How many of the 8 will win? I want to say 2 extra, but I'm not sure exactly who will be. I'll go Van Gerwen and Cross. We'll go with the Bulldom sort of thing.
Got the boys.
We'll get the 2 Bullies there to win a night. I wouldn't be surprised if Arsenal won one.
Yep.
I'd love to see Bunting would win one,
of course.
He needs to get off. He needs to win a quarterfinal first.
Needs to get off the mark first. Absolutely. No, we'll keep an eye on that for sure. I like this. It's very interesting to see. Number one, how many players have played a certain player, and then obviously how many nightly wins and what their total
we'll be breaking down this Premier League for you as the weeks go on, and we'll predict night 5 a little bit later.
Yes.
Last thing on
Your
the UK Open, my future star Nathan Grivan, who got to the 3rd round of this year's UK Open. This is a photo from a couple of years ago when he played and lost to Josh Rock in the World Youth Final. He's playing quite a few different World Youth Finals in both the BDO, the old BDO that no longer exists, and the Professional Darts Corporation.
Yep.
I just picked him out because he was a development tour player who got to the 3rd round, and only Beau did better than that.
Yeah.
So that's a promising performance. I want to see. I didn't even look to see where he's at on the development tour order of merit. If I don't see him immediately, that means he hasn't had the greatest start to the year. There he is. So he's all the way down at 74 at the moment.
Okay.
So he's got heaps of work to do to bring him up. He's behind here is Zanti Vandenberg, which I can only assume is a relation to Dimitri.
You think so?
There's William Bristow there. That probably not. Oh, there's Jensen Walker as well. So he's sort of in that category there, which is if he's not that far behind Jensen Walker, then things are looking good. So thought I'd shout him out. He had a good week away from the TV stages down the outside boards, getting to the 3rd round of the UK Open. Is an impressive effort, and lost only in the last leg. Decided to Matt Campbell. Both averaged exactly 87.02.
Incredible.
Funnily enough, so
what are the odds of that happening?
Yep. So Scottish player Nathan Grivan is this week's future star.
Absolutely.
Now we got to get into the latest news, and this could have counted as the best story this week. Dart Star gets heroes welcomed by world fans in home country after making history at the Modus Super Series. Our man Peter Wachiuri, he didn't have the greatest start in Group A, but in Group C, man, he looked way better than anyone else. I'm not sure if Group C was the natural place for him, or whether him being in Group A was a good sort of lead up to get into sort of build himself into later in the week. He got all the way to the final and lost 4-1. It's the second big final he's lost, because he lost the African World Championship qualifier last year, which is the reason why he became such a big name in the darts Twitter community. But which got him a spot to the Modus Super Series.
Yep.
And it is a very good story to see people rally behind this.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Out of nowhere hero of Kenyan darts.
So yes, he did start originally in Group A. Then he went to Group C. He actually won 13 out of 15, which is incredible.
Yeah, it's very
incredible. So that was including beating Leonard Gates and Noah Lynn Van Leuven, who are very good players at their best, absolutely. And then finals night, he beat Jamie Lewis, Scott Campbell, and Colin Osborne, who played fantastic all week, I got to say.
Yeah, he did, Colin.
Topped Group A, and he was very good. And he got beaten by Campbell 4-1 in the final. And I did mention this off air to you. If he had won that game, he would have earned him a spot at Ali Palace.
Yeah, so if he won that African qualifier, he would have been at Alexandra Palace. It was not to be. He would have been at Champions Week for Series 10. So
yes.
Unfortunately, not there, but it's still a very good story, and he will be back.
Yes, I've highlighted this year. He will compete at either the International Pairs #1 or #2 at some time this year. It'll be either in May or August. So stay tuned for that. Can't wait to see him.
We'll be interested to see. I'll be very interested to see who his partner is and how well he plays in comparison for Team Kenya at the International Pairs.
That Simon Whitlock and Mason will play in that one. What date we don't know, but stay tuned.
I would expect as soon as possible in May.
One? Yeah,
and I've got more news on another doubles event, the World Cup of Darts, coming up a little bit later. But it was Scott Campbell who got the better of our man Peter in the final to advance to Champions Week.
Yep, so he was your Week 6 winner. Again, as I said, he beat our man in the final,
Wachiuri.
Peter. Yes, Wachiuri, 4-1. And again, good finals night, good campaign. Played very well throughout the course of the week and well-deserved winner. If we now look at into this week, actually, Double Trouble is back.
Yes, so
the third installment.
Yes, so this is the new thing that they're doing. They're sort of throwing in these special weeks in between. So the regulation Modus Super Series returns next week with Week 7. But it's the third edition of Double Trouble. Love the double start format.
Yes.
And our man Simon Whitlock is there
back
for a blockbuster. I mean, look at the names of Group A, especially Whitlock, Duff, Thornton, Gates, Harrison, Beaton. And then you look at Group B. Steve West is just a stalwart of Modus.
Ted Everts as well.
Ted Everts, favourite player. Ross Montgomery, the World Seniors champion, newly crowned, is in Group B.
Absolutely.
And Keegan Brown, Andrew Grain. Mark Dudbridge, who is a legend of the sport and a former PDC World finalist back in 2005, I think it was, is there as well. But all attention for us is on Simon, on the Wizard, continuing to have more opportunities to play on the telly.
Yes, exactly, for sure. Well, if you go to the next slide, it's a very stacked table. He sits at 8 points currently. Look at that. 12, 10, and 8.
There's just 2 games separating first and last.
And there's obviously one night's night. And so far, Leonard Gates is on the top on 12, but just has the leg difference there.
Ahead of Steve Beaton.
Yes, your man Steve Beaton.
Yes,
you like watching him,
I like watching Steve Beaton. The throw's amazing. So we got first and second, they're on 6. Third and fourth, they're on 5. And fifth and sixth are on 4, so a nice little symmetrical looking table at the moment.
Who will win Group A? You have to find out tonight.
We'll find out.
And it is on YouTube. You did want to mention this.
Yes, we have to mention
back
it
on YouTube.
finally. After being on Facebook, live on Facebook for a while, because Pluto TV isn't really available in Australia, we can watch the Modus Super Series on its YouTube channel.
Live.
So just go type Modus Super Series into the browser. It'll come up. If it's already live, it'll be a little red circle. You just press it, and it'll be there. And we'll be very much looking forward to see how Simon goes. I mean, he still could, in theory, finish top of Group A and go straight through here.
Absolutely.
He's not that far behind. He probably needs to work on that leg difference, to be honest. So he probably needs to win it outright. He probably needs, if he wins all 5 games, and if he's on 9 and everyone below is 8 or less, that'll get him through. Because if it's sort of level, it's probably more likely that he will be bumped down a second off leg difference.
I think he has to win at least 4 tonight. You've
got to win at least 4 to at least put yourself in there.
Give a chance. Yeah. If 5, then I reckon you're pretty close.
Yeah.
Well, it depends
5
how
or 6
Gates
would
and
get
Beaton
you.
go for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
But we'll watch that around, I think it's 8:30ish.
It should be 8:30. It starts Australian time, so we'll be keeping an eye live and free on the YouTube channel.
Facebook as well.
And Pluto TV, of course. We might as well shout out that they are the broadcast partner. But
official
we are back live there. A couple of things I saw this morning, which I immediately went, this is latest news territory, because it is quite late. That this is the recap first. So Small, Walker, Spivey, McGurk, Robinson, and Campbell in.
Yes.
So we will update this in a couple of weeks, because Week 7 will be in a couple of weeks.
Yes.
Last year was a weird Australian Darts Masters. They had Ladbrokes sponsorship, but I don't think they were technically the broadcast, the official title sponsor. When Ross Bray did Game Shot on the championship, he didn't mention Ladbrokes, which is 2024 Australian Darts Masters champion. But Keno Go will be sponsoring the Australian Darts Masters, confirmed yesterday evening. They'll sponsor that World Series event after no official sponsor last year. They're also partnering with the PDC for the ANZ Premier League. So good to see more brands getting involved in darts.
Yep, absolutely. As soon as I saw the rundown, I thought, wait, this is a brand new tournament, isn't it?
No.
So I rushed away. I'm like,
no, damn, it's just I just want to mention we've got a sponsor.
It is. I'm like, damn it.
Yeah, don't worry. This is the same tournament as the Australian Darts Masters last year. Going Price is the defending champ.
Yes, well, because I just saw the new sponsor. I'm like, hang on, this could be something new, but unfortunately not. I'll have to wait to see when it will come to Melbourne. Who knows? Maybe
one of these
2030
I will
or something.
say. The green, it'll be green and white stage. I think that will look good as long as they don't. I think the colours should look nice, and MVG won't have to change his outfit. He'll blend in with the stage.
Just the way it is.
So that'll be an interesting. So that's a very good thing to see. We'll obviously confirm the field and everything, who will take part, and we'll be intensely looking forward to that event down in Wollongong, or up in Wollongong. Now, Michael Smith and. Fair income. Oh, jeez, I've lost that one too. Come on now. There we go. They're back. This should be Michael Smith and Luke Humphries. They won last year's. It's not helping me. Anyway, Luke Humphries and Michael Smith won last year's World Cup of Darts, and we have news in that regard.
Yes.
Because 34 of the 40 competing nations have been confirmed, so not every single one. They are in alphabetical order: Australia, Austria, Bahrain, Belgium, Canada, China, Croatia, Czechia, Denmark, England, France, Germany, Gibraltar, who are always at this tournament, Hong Kong, Hungary, India, Italy, Japan, Latvia, the Netherlands, New Zealand, Northern Ireland, Norway, the Philippines, Poland, Portugal, the Republic of Ireland, Scotland, South Africa, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, the USA, and Wales. The 6 other nations will come through. One, a championship darts Latin and Caribbean qualifier on April the 25th.
Hopefully Kenya is one of them, but we don't know yet.
Yeah, I don't
Not
think
sure
that'll
about
be.
them, unfortunately,
I don't think they'll be part of this. I'm afraid. The PDC Asian Tour will have qualifiers, 3 of them on May the 4th. So we'll hope that Paul Lim in Singapore can get through there.
I hope so.
And then, of course, the PDC Nordic and Baltic qualifier, 1st and 2nd date to be confirmed. That tournament begins. On Thursday, June the 12th. That'll be Friday the 13th here.
Yep.
With group stage matches followed by, of course, second round matches on the Saturday, quarterfinals Sunday afternoon, and semi-final and final Sunday evening. Same format as recent years in terms of the amount of legs you need to win.
Yep.
And it said here, nations with at least 2 PDC players on the PDC Order of Merit will have their pairings confirmed following Players Championship 16 on May the 13th.
Okay.
Nations with less than 2 players on the PDC Order of Merit will see their representatives confirmed following local qualifiers to find one or both competitors. What that means is Damon Heta will definitely be there for Australia, and if Simon Whitlock wants to join him, he'll have to win a qualifier.
Okay, so that's how it works. Okay, I was always wondering how it was worked because Simon mentioned on that interview at Modus with who was it? Henry Deacon. It was that he wants to play, or he hopes he wants to play, but how he gets in, now we know.
Yeah,
so that's
I mean, the PDC could just sort of give a wave and let him through, because that's what it's an interesting thing if you look at the history of this tournament when you come back to the champion. So we know it's Smith and Humphries won it last year. But Littler is obviously way ahead of Smith on the Order of Merit. Sure. There have been times in the past where that has happened. In 2017, in 2016, Adrian Lewis and Phil Taylor won the World Cup of Darts. In 2017,
what a combo.
Taylor dropped down a bit. I think he was still offered the spot, but given this was his last year, he was retiring, and he was sort of reducing the amount of darts he was playing, and he was preparing for his last World Match Play, which he ended up winning. He decided, no thank you. So I think it might have been Dave Chisnell, someone like that, who replaced him.
Respect.
When John Henderson was a late fill-in, wasn't he, for Scotland when they won the World Cup of Darts, and he got to play in that pairing the following year. I know that was definitely one. I'm expecting very much Littler and Humphries to pair against each other.
Sure.
It's too big of a commercial value not to. They'll be the $1 favourites. It's very hard to see them losing this particular tournament. It's basically a big tournament for who finishes second.
Pretty much.
But World Cup Darts is always a great event, and that'll be happening later in the year. And
can't wait.
Australia and Damon Heta, at the very least, will be involved.
Well, if it's not Whitlock, who do you think it will be? That's my question.
It's going to be someone like Mathers or Fag
or Weaning potentially.
Brandon Weaning.
Yeah.
It's going to be one of these regular guys we see a lot on the DPA. Joe Comito maybe.
Yeah.
Who just get the better in the qualifier. Will be one of those. We will keep an eye on that.
Hopefully it's Whitlock because
hopefully it's Whitlock.
Damo loves playing with Whitlock.
Yeah, that's the iconic combination.
Whitlock is the better chance than the other guys probably.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
We'll find out.
We will
Stay
see.
tuned.
Yep, and they won the World Cup of Darts 3 years ago, so they do have history in that event.
History,
yes. The week ahead, night 6 of the Premier League. Oh, sorry, night 5. I've got this wrong twice now. I'm gonna get in and change this because I think I had it wrong last week. Night 5. We'll get that right. No one will know. I won't bother to edit that out. Night 5 of the Premier League is on the 6th of March. That's why I got them confused. Is in Brighton at the Brighton Centre.
Yes.
Price v Van Gogh and Littler v Derby. Cross v Humphries. Bunting v Aspinall. Who wins quarterfinal 1, Josh, and by what margin?
I have got it, and don't worry, I will not stuff it up
You will
this
not
time.
stuff it up this time. I will mention
I didn't do
that
it last time.
It's a very stacked English side of the draw. They put the two non-Englishmen on top, and everyone else is on the other side for this week in Brighton.
Okay, so Price v MVG, I've got Price. Littler v Derby, I've got Littler. Cross Humphries, I have Humphries. Bunting versus Aspinall, I have your man winning his first game for the Premier League.
I think we're in agreement there. I do have Bunting win. I said last week he would win his first game this week. So yeah, I'm liking Price. I'm a bit concerned with Van Gogh's out. I'm a bit concerned that Derby could be cut adrift a little bit. So I like Littler. Humphries is just playing too well at the moment, but Cross should give him a good match.
True.
And I'm expecting Bunting to finally pick up his first win. If he doesn't, we're in big trouble.
Semi-finals, Price v Littler. I've got Price to make the final, and then Humphries v Bunting. I have Humphries. Price v Humphries. I have Price as the nightly winner.
Yes,
but we will find out.
I will say that
I don't know.
Yeah, it is a tough one to go through. I reckon
because he won 2 nights ago. So
does he continue his good form at the moment, Littler, or does Humphries continue to run right in the Premier League, or does Stephen burst through all the way? No, he won't. He'll win a match and then lose in the semi-final.
What's your outline of the draw?
I was trying to remember what I was thinking about the last couple of days, and I was tossing up actually between Cross and Humphries in their quarterfinal match. He had a good weekend at the UK Open, didn't he? Cross, we didn't mention
also have a
him.
drink of water.
I'm pretty sure he got to the 6th round.
Have a think about it.
I need to go someone else. I want to go exactly. I think I'm looking at a very similar thing here. Price Humphries. No, we saw last year a few players win a few nights in a row. I'll go Humphries instead of Price, but I think those two will meet in the final.
Okay.
Wouldn't be surprised if Cross was to upset him. Can we? I do need to mention one thing.
It'll be 3 instead of 2 next time.
Yeah, well,
on the next photo, it'll be this one.
Yeah. There'll be all sorts of different things. We forgot. I should have mentioned.
Yep.
I found it the most amazing thing. Marchand was playing Johnny Clayton on the second stage, and they were doing some warm-up darts. He went to throw his first dart. His dart, and I shared this on my story because I thought it was amazing. I think it's been viewed like 10 million times or more on Instagram. It came off the wire. The dart bounced out and landed in his shoe. Did you see this?
I did see that. Oh my god!
Yeah.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure you would have mentioned something.
Yeah. I put this up on my story, so a lot of people would have seen it.
10 million. Wow.
It's got at least 10 million. Mind you, it's only a 20-second video, so it's just people watching it over and over again. I think I've watched it at least 5,000 times. It was a bit dangerous, and you couldn't do that deliberately. If you tried to do that 1,000 times, you want to get close.
You wouldn't be able to
even just get it to bounce beautifully off the wire. Let us land in the
actual trajectory that it actually went to in the moment.
Yeah, so and Martin, it happened so quickly. He literally could not move. It was only going to land where it was going to land, and luckily it landed perfectly. It went down like that into his shoe. It didn't penetrate his skin or anything like that. It could have hurt him. But yeah, so that was a weird thing that happened. So week ahead, night 5 of the Premier League.
Yes.
And the Euro Tour is back. This was going to be all the dates for when the Euro Tour is happening.
Yep.
It's in Belgium this week. We obviously don't have a draw as of yet. We did have a list of players competing, or at least most of the players competing, and I forgot to bring it up earlier, so let's do that. 2025 Belgian Darts Open, seeded players, Humphries, Littler, Van Gogh, and Cross. I'm not going to read through all of these. They're the top 16, then 16 order of merit players. I will mention the 2-card qualifiers for this event are Crabtree, Lovely, Joyce, Tricole, Matthew Dennett, Daryl Pilgrim, who's always been one who has been... if he gets onto the tour, he could do damage, and he's got into a Euro Tour event at his first attempt. Long, Campbell, Hurrell, and Bates. There's supposed to be a host nation qualifier held tomorrow. So for the last 4 spots there, they'll do the draw soon enough. someone's going to have egg on their face at the end of the whole European Tour season. It's going to be the players outside the top 16 complaining about the new changes, or it's going to be the PDC themselves for the changes not being very good. So,
Good point.
Very interesting to see how that goes. We won't obviously predict anything, but hopefully this will be the start of a good year. Might be, if Bunting doesn't get up in the Premier League, I'm hopefully expecting he can pick up a few wins this Euro Tour just to keep things moving. He did drop down the order of merit to number 6 as well as a result of not playing as well and losing in the 4th round of the UK Open this weekend.
Correct. There's 14 different, nights, weekends for that one.
Events.
So there's Belgium. There's
tons in Germany.
There's 1 in Belgium. There's 3 Germany. There's actually 5 in Germany, or 6 actually. There's too many. There's 1 in Netherlands, Czech Republic, Hungary,
couple in
Switzerland.
Belgium.
Yep. Sorry.
There's a Czech one.
March 7 to 9, March 21 to 23, April 4 to 6, April 19 to 21, 25 to 27, May 2 to 4, May 23 to 25, May 30 to June 1, July 13.
What you're saying is there's going to be a lot of darts to watch.
There's a lot of darts. I'll leave it there, should I?
So Belgium, Germany, Austria, Germany, the Netherlands, Germany, Belgium, Czechia, Hungary, Switzerland, Germany. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yep.
That's exactly half of the European Tour is in Germany. Mind you, the European Championship, where's that, Josh? Germany. I think it's in...
Of course.
Dortmund?
What arena?
Alrighty, but they love their darts over there, to be fair. So, first of the 14 Euro Tour events, top 32 will qualify for the European Championship.
Yes.
Right, show's finishing up. This was a classic match at last year's UK Open. Littler went down to Luke Humphries. It was close. Damon Heta. Close, went all the way. Missed some opportunities, particularly to take it to a last leg. And Heta won 11-9. This week, we've sort of already mentioned this match a couple of times and who won it. But you know what? There's nothing else. There's no real alternative here. Last year, Euro Tour returning, so we cast him back 12 months ago to Rob Cross playing Luke Littler. He was trying to become, remarkably, before this event got started, there was only 2 people in the history of the Euro Tour since starting in 2012 who won on their first ever, who won the tournament. That was their first Euro Tour tournament. It was Justin Pipe when it was the first Euro Tour tournament, because obviously no one had played in it. And the other one was Phil Taylor, and that's only because he didn't play in the first one. So that was 100 events between this and now. So Littler will have an opportunity to do that in this particular match. High averages, big checkouts. Cross was brilliant. Littler was brilliant. A particular highlight moment occurs in the 11th leg, I think it is. And there's some clutch double hitting, especially from Littler late in this match. Cross stays with him the whole way. As you can see, it was 5-4 at one point. And we'll see the winner next time.
Wow.
And that's when we'll speak to you all next. You will see us for episode number 10 of the 9 Dart Podcast. Thank you, Josh, for sitting down with me.
Pleasure.
It's been a big show. I've now got to wrap myself up and move. So I've got from mostly all sports into darts, now moving into footy. I'm wearing Geelong stuff today, celebrating the fact that we're not playing this weekend, but our favourite darts players will be. And I am looking forward to see what happens at this week in the Premier League and over in Visa. Belgium, always a great place for darts. They need to get a Premier League there at some point.
They do.
And also, as
just
last thing on Peter Wachiuri, they also need to get an African World Series event at some point.
They do, absolutely.
Because with the Vuvuzelas, that would be the absolute highlight of the event. Can you imagine? I spray turn around. Ladies and gentlemen, can we just turn it down a little bit on the Vuvuzelas? Thank you. Alrighty, that concludes the 9th episode of the 9 Dart Podcast. Thank you very much, Ben, for producing. Thank you very much, Josh, for being here. And unless we think of anything else in the next 10 seconds, we're done. We'll talk more Premier League and Modus in particular. Hopefully, Simon Whitlock does well at the Modus tonight later on in the week with Double Trouble. All right, that's it. And we will speak to you, hopefully, in a week. This has been the 9 Dart Podcast.